It seems the least boring thing we can do is talk about the weather this week.
It's Monday, September 19th, and this is your Smart Doll News.
Welcome back to the Smart Doll News, everybody. I'm John.
I'm Sandy.
And we've got, there's some stuff to talk about this week. A lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, but mostly some concerning weather reports. But before we get into that, let's discuss our Super Smarties.
We owe a lot of gratitude to Amy Zickerman, Knick-Knack Paddywhack, and Stephanie Carbno for the surprise super chats during our live shop with me last week.
Yes, and of course the week before, because we didn't cover the news the week before. So thank you all for your super chats, your super stickers, and your super thanks on any of our live, our published videos. So that let's get right into, if I can find my mouse, the headlines. So the biggest headline right now is, the whole country of Japan has been pretty much brought to a standstill. We have a typhoon that came in starting, Sunday. It hit landfall, Sunday their time, so Saturday for us. And it was pretty, a record-setting typhoon.
Yeah.
One of the fourth strongest typhoon on record since they started keeping count in the, early 50s. We have, a current count of 2 people who have perished due to the storm, which is incredibly unfortunate. It does seem that with the hitting landfall, and it hit pretty hard from what I understand, by the time it was down to about what we would call a Category 3 power, if it were us measuring hurricanes here. And that's when it hit Kyushu, which is the southernmost island. And it basically was like, okay, we're just going to trace Japan and just go straight up it. Just made, pretty much took a right and went straight through. Last we checked, I think, what was it, last night we were looking at it?
Yeah, I think it was, last night, late last night.
It was due to hit Tokyo about now. And the big concern at this point was going to be all of the wind and all of the wind and all of the power outages. I am getting word from the chat that Danny just did an update on the typhoon. I'm going to assume, I don't know which one. We'll try Instagram first and see what he is saying. Nothing new there. So let's go to Twitter and let's assume Danny Chu. I'm not seeing.
Maybe in his stories?
Maybe. I know he did an update about it early on. Here's what we do know right now. As it currently stands, according to Google's tracking of the actual storm location, it essentially has passed. It passed well north of Tokyo, and it does not look like the eye of the storm passed through there directly, which of course is the largest, the worst part of the storm.
I gotta say, John, you are not on your game. Where is our green screen and the pointing? And
look, one thing at a time, woman. That's I'm getting the green screen ready for when we start our gaming Twitch stream. I feel like who used to do what late night show did like the we're in a car, like driving on their desk and like and all the green screen behind them or something. I feel like it might have been Conan. So it does look like it was the Instagram stories.
Yeah, Lee just shared what he said.
We should be able to get this up here.
Oh, jumping ahead a little there.
All right. Still windy, but it looks like the brunt of the typhoon has passed Tokyo. No damage on this end, but we did carry out flooding measures during the sirens. So thankfully, everyone seems to be okay at Culture Japan. We are very glad to hear that. And it did seem like this passed a lot quicker.
So the concern was infrastructure in terms of, at least in terms of the, of course, obviously the concern is lives. We're going to, I'm just going to, like, gloss over that and go down to, like, what we are actually here on the news for and what this all means. Impacts. Yeah. That it's infrastructure, like power outages, roads being out, things like that.
Yeah, so we knew, straight up, Danny said at the beginning of this that it was going to affect their shipping. They've shut down shipping. They're not shipping out any orders. They were doing what they had to do, and so there's going to be some delays on orders. They weren't stopping, though, correct? They didn't. They were continuing taking orders.
As far as, he didn't shut the website down.
Right.
So he just basically said, just plan on us not shipping until after, like, Tuesday or something like that.
And Danny always ships way faster than the estimate. It's an estimated 15 days to ship. So, even if there was a delay, we should be expecting that, but we all get used to like the very quick,
really fast,
quick turnaround.
I was going to say something and now I've completely lost what it was. But I mean, we know what that's like. Having to pause shipping for a few days is not unreasonable. I mean, we live in a place that gets winter storms. And sure, as you mentioned, hurricanes and things like that. And we know what it's like. Down. Yeah, everything shuts down. They got to get the roads cleared. They got to get the power back up.
What I would expect, and be pleasantly surprised if not, I would expect some supply line delays on top of what we normally have anyway. Mm-hmm. So there may be, packages going out from Danny, but it may be DHL might end up taking a little bit longer. You might see some other impacts of this, in the next week. But it does seem to be very light and thankfully, very low impact specifically for them. So, we might see them moving again tomorrow, today even. Today, because today is Tuesday for them. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen too many like big releases, so we'll see what happens. Given this information, what do you think we're going to see any releases this week?
I don't know. I mean, it really depends on exactly how badly it was affected. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't release anything until like this next weekend. Yeah. But I mean, he could turn around and go, hey, I told you we weren't going to drop anything or we weren't going to do anything, but here you go.
Yeah, I guess that depends on, if they lost, like, how many days have they lost, getting things ready or things going out. If they haven't really lost that much, things may go out as, right. He may be back on whatever that schedule that he's on, which, for all we know, is nothing anyway.
There's also how many employees can get to work, are people having rail service disrupted? Are people just not able to get to the building?
From the sound of it, from what we're seeing in terms of the path that this took, because it was like it came up here and then basically went probably more across the ocean into like the Kanazawa and the Niigata range there, stayed well away from Tokyo. So it's hard to say, of course. We are certainly no experts in infrastructure in Japan.
Right.
But hopefully hopefully Tokyo is well off and can get right back to it, and hopefully the other areas that are more centrally, on the path aren't too, because I know there's a big risk of landslides, flooding, landslides, all sorts of things. And in rural towns, a landslide could take out
Everybody.
or everything.
We watch our anime. We see the houses kind of stacked on each other on the hills and stuff like that.
or, so yeah. So hopefully nobody else is hurt, and hopefully nobody's lives are horribly damaged by this pretty powerful storm.
So in terms of what did release, we did get a blue drop.
Yeah, I forgot about that. We'll come back to this in a second.
Yeah, we got Blue Relentless and a bunch of blue parts.
That's right. We did not. So was that this past week? We didn't talk. We weren't here last week. Well, we were, but we were taking a shopping break.
Yeah.
So
what happened last? Not much happened last week.
There wasn't much going on.
Very much going on, but in between there was a blue drop.
Oh, right. Hence,
this pile of blue stuff.
Schmoobs.
Feats.
Which I don't know. These stuck around. The extra smalls stuck around.
Pansies.
If people haven't gotten the extra smalls, they are great to have. So if they are still available, I would recommend you get them because they're a really good way to differentiate a doll.
Are we missing one?
It's somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, it fell on the floor because it was in a pile.
Yep.
Large boobs falling on the floor.
Well, yep. I don't know what's happening. So yeah, we also have, but that's basically it for releases. But we have the official announcement of Pride, and Pride is set up to go live in within a month, or is it this month? Later this month. So in the next few weeks, we should see Pride
She's quite
dropping.
cool. I really like her, and I like the message behind her. And
she very much. I was one of the people who actually preferred the original,
the sad face.
Yeah, the slightly sad looking face. But there is something very cute about this face, and he actually kind of turned her. He gave her a little Mirai future kind of thing.
Yeah, she does have that. Maybe that's why I like her so much. But I want to say, Danny's got to be very proud of this one because, and if you read the description and then you think about it, this is a deceptively hard face up to get right. I mean, it could look really fake. And if it doesn't look really fake, it could backfire and actually look unappealing.
Right. It's like, how do you make it have this balance and really show what he's trying to show of beauty and imperfection and
I mean, she's lovely. She is a beautiful, beautiful doll, and I just it doesn't take away from her to have those marks, and I admire the complete face up in terms of its difficulty level. I think it's like right there.
Well, yeah, because there is the element of aesthetics here and balance in the face up, and it's a hard thing to do, especially when you're covering the face with so much red. But he does a really good job of. I especially like the rather large spot on the chin, where it starts to. It's not just like blotchy and red and okay. Then it's like there's almost a little story happening here. Like there's different types of
Everybody
acne.
who has ever had a pimple knows that it's so much worse if it's like right in the middle of your chin or on your nose.
The nose is the worst.
Well, the nose is worse for pain.
Yes.
But I mean, just you don't want it anywhere obvious like that.
Right. But she, I think he really pulls off a the story that he's going for here, and it's very interesting to talk about. The thing that I liked, you talked about it being challenging, and what makes it challenging is that they are using, as he says, these paint masks, which are designed to create like hard, sharp lines, and they're using it to create like gradients and like radial sort of spread on the paint, and it's very cool. You can actually see we've shown these before, but I think he's got. Does he have? Maybe somewhere. There we go. So they've basically just taken a face mask and taken a drill to it.
And just poked a whole bunch of holes in it. Yeah. And they feel very random. They just like, okay, which is, acne would be. So
which is hard to do by hand. Making something, which is why more often than not, like an artist would do things like flicking flick
the brush or whatever,
stuff like that. Do something that creates randomness. But doing that and then having it look random and yet still, there's gonna be randomness to it because probably the variation in how far away they might be holding it when they spray and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But overall, the pattern's going to be the same.
Yeah. A+ for her, Danny. She is really good, and I can see the hard work and thought that went into her.
And here we have this news item, which is somewhat twofold. A, Danny got a new apartment.
Hey, Danny!
Congratulations, Danny. Moving during a typhoon must be...
Danny and wife?
Yes.
Whose name I can never remember, and I'm very, very sorry about that.
It's Wifey.
Wifey, right, because he always says wifey, but he has said her name before. And if you look at his Wikipedia, you can see what her name is.
Yeah, all right. Well, one day, I'm fine with Wifey because, I don't know, it's Danny and Wifey. We're sorry. One day we'll learn. So here is Danny going through IKEA, which, I just love it. It's one of those things like, someplace like IKEA must be really useful in Japan in terms of dealing with small spaces.
Yeah. Yeah, because, the apartments are going to be smaller for the most part. It's a minimalist style, too. It actually kind of meshes with Japan very well.
And Danny specifically.
Yeah.
I know these shelving units. He picked up a lot of these Ivar shelving units, which are basically just raw wood.
Yeah, it's just the frame. They wanted them for the kitchen, right? Isn't that what he said?
Something like that.
It just says for the apartment. I don't know why I thought kitchen, but...
And it smells nice. So it's just, untreated wood, which if you wanted to paint them, you could totally do that or sand them, do whatever you want.
We almost got you those, I think.
Did we?
At one point, yep.
So the other thing he does note is that Fortitude here is trying out some new products. And a lot of this is new, or at the very least, a new variant. Yeah.
Right. So what do we got here? We've got the badge, now in brown with a brassy gold plate.
And that is very new. We've barely just seen the badge in black. Mm-hmm. And now we're seeing it in brown.
That would go super well with our cowboy hat.
This is true. We haven't... Have we shown that on the stream?
No, we showed it to Kat. I don't think we showed it to everybody.
She's nowhere else. All right.
Yeah, she's... Yeah.
Let's just say... a cowboy hat plus Solar Marine uniform equals...
So good.
Anyway, so we've got that. We've got the Adventurers. I can't remember what he's calling this, but
it's not the camisole. It's like a bra top or something
the camisole is this is the Adventurers.
Oh, the Adventurers shirt. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if he was calling it shirt. I thought it was something different, but... this is the version that has the two straps going across the front.
Which I love. It's so different. I really love it. I would love it just in white. That would be a cool shirt in white.
Yeah, I think it's I don't see him doing that because it's a very rugged shirt. It's a very thick, like tweed is not the right word.
But you
twill.
could use the same pattern to make a white one.
Sure.
Or khaki, like
Yep.
a light khaki. Very good.
It's one of those like almost a jacket kind of shirts,
Mm-hmm.
We also have the Adventurer's belt, or the combat belt. That's right. The combat belt in brown, which looks great.
That came out, didn't it?
Did it in brown?
I think so, because I think I remember telling you that it came out, and we didn't order anything that night.
Okay.
But I could be wrong.
We'll check. And then we have 2 items. One that has been seen before, but not in a while, and one that we haven't, which is this gray bucket hat. Angel Kitty says they ordered it with the bluebies.
With their bluebies.
Well said. The gray bucket hat, what do we think?
Love it. I'm a fan of the bucket hat.
You just want more bucket hat.
More bucket hat.
And we've got the the goggles, the aviator goggles.
Aviator goggles, and then we've also got the 3D printed black, darker black bracelets that we hadn't seen before.
All right, so
Well, that we had seen before, but
yeah, we've got here's the aviator goggles. The last time we heard anything about the aviator goggles, they were a bit too finicky in testing for customers in terms of like how they exactly fit on or something like
Right.
that. And so it seemed like he wasn't ready to put them out, and perhaps he's got a new iteration of them.
I believe he said he didn't like the finish on the inside either. They look better from the outside than they do from the inside, kind of thing.
Okay, I'm trying. I guess if you're wearing them around the neck.
I can't remember for sure, but he also said it was like finicky to do stuff, to buckle them and stuff like that.
Well, from what I believe, you basically, it wasn't just like a strap in, it had to like sort of strap, and the strap held, it was like 2 layers. You can kind of see it here. This, I think it's a leather layer, this sort of leather, the part that goes against the eye, and then the part of the goggle itself, and which is fairly accurate. It's to that type of goggle. He's creating that sort of like lip around the edge. But they're 2 different pieces, and they sort of have to sandwich and pressure together. And I think they could probably just come apart on not like fall apart, but like separate if you were just sort of have them here, hanging them. We also have, as you pointed out, the new bracelets that I believe are 3D printed. So my guess is that puts Danny in a better place to be able to create more of that.
Is it the same writing? What's that bottom one? Is that bottom one?
It's keep calm and carry a smart doll.
It is, okay.
Yep. And this one is that. This is the haters one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Haters gonna hate in that one.
Mm-hmm.
So, lots of new things. We've seen multiple shots of various of these items on in the sort of pictures, behind the scenes pictures that he puts out as well. So all of this is either out, as we heard about the combat belt in brown, or coming soon. So cross my fingers for those goggles.
I just want the shirt and the hat.
Well, yeah, I guess the shirt had a couple of options. I think that we were looking at, that he was playing around with.
Yeah, there was like a lace-up type version. There were a couple different versions of it.
Yeah, so I do hope he releases those options too, unless they were just experiments and it's not going to happen. We also hope that you like and subscribe to this channel. We are here every Monday night, most every Monday night, and liking this video is, one of the best ways that for you to help support this, help spread it. We are doing things a little bit differently at the moment. We're trying out doing a more proper rebroadcasting and trimming out like the countdown and stuff in the beginning. So we definitely appreciate on the cast, that is not the word I'm looking for, that you give this video a like and help the algorithm, help it along. Let's take a look behind the scenes. So this picture, I'm pretty sure I just went right past, and you were like, wait, whoa.
Wait, there's something here. If you look at those boxes, they all say 3.
We think maybe it's really hard to tell. I don't know that says 3, but what I will give you is those look like the standard. They look like the standard shipping box for the non-doll part. Like you get doll parts in or something like that. But they're, I want to say they're thicker.
Yeah, or at least the ones that we can see before they've all completely fade out say 3. So my thought is, do we have another chaos drop coming?
It'd be interesting. I mean, it's a lot of prep. Like 3. I don't think these say 3. Like it doesn't.
Does anybody else see 3 there? I see 3.
Let us know in the chat what you see, or if you can read the symbol, you can tell us what that means. I just wonder, like, that's a lot. Like, it's all over here.
But it might not all be 3s.
I guess maybe 3s and 2s.
3, 2, and 1, and then you've got because those don't look. I don't think those are as wide as these, but I could be wrong.
I think they're the same, but it is a little bit weird. It seems like a thicker box, and that could totally. I mean, this could be total unintentional trolling by Danny.
It could be.
And he's probably laughing at us right now, talking about a stupid box that we think is thicker than normal. But I do think it's thicker. I don't think it says 3 necessarily, but it does.
I zoomed in on it, and it looked to me like it said 3.
I mean,
but. And the only other thing that says 3 that I can think of is hand packs.
I mean, we're zoomed in. I can't zoom in any further. That is it for the resolution of this. So, yeah, I don't know, but it is. Here's what I will give you. It does seem like they are prepping a bunch of a pre-packaged thing, with stuff in it, and it's not a doll. It's not dolls. So it's like, here's this medium-sized box.
Chaos makes sense.
Yeah.
Utter chaos makes sense. He knows what he's putting in each of those packages.
Yeah. I always just thought chaos, because they talk about chaos, like the utter chaos bundles being like, yeah, we're just shoving some stuff
off of
the
I
table.
think they used to be kind of like that, but now if you want to get the really good stuff, you've got to get the 3 box.
Right, that's true.
So...
BJD Dollfam says pebbles, and then follows that up with wishful thinking.
Yeah, that's a lot of pebbles.
Tracy seems to say 3, well, with an M in there. Magic kind of says I kind of see pebbles. I don't know. This would be interesting. We've never seen a box like this have a product label on it, because this label is what he uses to label an actual. Oh, hey, guess what, guys? It says 3 because
we have the hand pack sitting right in front of us.
You can't. All right, sorry, you can't see it, but it's this is the number 3 hand pack, and it is the same symbol, and yeah, so. If it says we've confirmed that this likely 99% says 3, I'm on board with this is probably utter chaos coming soon. Because, a one bundle, a single, a double, and a triple bundle.
Magic Durgan says Chaos Box 3, like there's going to be multiple versions. I think what it is probably if that box is all set up to hold 3 Utter Chaos packs. Yeah. So it will already have, that they can get it ready and already have the items for pack 3 in it.
Yeah, and my guess is they may have already packed them. Like, they may have already divvied up everything and have pre-created the bundles. Mm-hmm. Which it's interesting.
It makes a lot of sense. All they gotta do is grab the box, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if they've got the time for it, I guess it's a matter of how, like, these days with Utter Chaos, if it's very specifically regimented what they have available to go into those things and they can pre-create this, yeah.
Yeah, because lately that's what he's doing. He's going, okay, he always tells you if you want the really good new stuff, you gotta get the 3rd box, you know?
Yep. Great catch, Sandy.
Thanks.
But...
Tats.
All right. So we've got some new faces in town. Let's be clear. Like, we may see stuff like this, but this is totally Prototype City right here.
Yeah. So we see face tats on that side. Is that a white one? What is on her face?
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a it's white over like blushing, so it looked kind of pink. So we have here with this Onward with a very floral face tattoo kind of design.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah. I like it. I would love to get an idea of what is happening over here. It's got some, like, in the middle here on her right cheek, it's got some sort of various crisscrossing lines, kind of spider webby kind of stuff going on. It's got also these little dots and things. So it almost looks like, I'm sure this is not what it is, but it if my brain wants to fill in the other side of it, and it wants it to sort of be like alien, like crop circle sort of circles and, dots and things.
Could be scarification.
Sure. It's awfully bright for that. For it to be a scar, but it's a prototype, so who knows. What do we think of this Cocoa Prowess with teal? Sorry, Kat. It's got teal and for the main whiskers, but it also has this third little eye whisker. It actually reminds me of what Katie and I did for Everyday Ray with bringing her cheek thing up to her eye. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's a little on the busy side, but it's kind of cool. What do you think? Did Kat
just messaged me, teal, with a winky face.
We have a regular. Oh, this is Chi Prowess.
Yep.
And then
someone says that's T Kinsachi.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Here's you can see the eyebrow. Those all match there. And that's totally Kinsachi.
Yeah.
So we have Chitose with Kintsugi.
Kinsachi Tise.
So that's too much. Too many things. Yeah, very cool. What do you all think of these 5 new sort of? They're not new characters, right? They all are new variations of face paint and facial options.
Definitely, the tattoo girl is so different and unique.
Yeah.
And I think it would go really well with, like, it would look so good with, like, the Mori girl outfits and the peasant tops and things like that. That really, like, that girly, that has a girliness to it.
I want, like, on the opposite end of the spectrum, let's make sure we. Man, the resolution of graphics that I'm able to get these days is really bad for some reason. What I love about the floral, or on the opposite end of that, I would like to see something like Genesis with like a dragon or something like that. A little bit more.
Kabuki. Bring Kabuki back and give her like a just under her chin or something like that. She's got like a dragon coming down or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, in general, the very intricate. I wonder what he is. I mean, I wonder if this is just like regular. This seems like a lot of work. I'm wondering how is he doing it? Like, what corners is he trying to cut to make that easier to do? Are we?
Is that a face mask on its own?
Now, well, of course, yeah,
it would
definitely.
Have to be multiples, actually. That looks like it would have to be way more than one face mask.
Probably due to, we know that Kintsugi had to be more than one face mask because if he cut it out completely, it would have actually cut a giant hole in itself. Like, right. So he had to do it in like two sort of branches. And something like that would probably happen with this. I have a feeling there's another process he's using for this.
Something a little bit more grungier would look cool in combination with the cyber stuff too.
Yeah.
So you could have a tattoo on one side and something cyber going on the other, or something like that.
Nefertiti says, I'm not much for face tats, but it's nicely done. I would like more makeup for the faces. I really love makeup and want to change heads for different makeup. That's a really good point. Giving an actual full-on lipstick, different eyeliner, stuff like that, without changing, like,
I mean, for some dolls, you can actually buy makeup to put on them.
Sure.
Like, and it comes off. Like, right. They've been sealed so that you can do that. I don't know. I've never thought of trying to put makeup on a smart doll, but
we've talked about it. And I believe I asked around probably like a year ago even, and I think this is probably it wouldn't have been, this would have been for Vignette. This would have been right. early on for, our model. And I think what I ended up deciding that dealing with the struggle of, it was a lot easier to just Photoshop makeup on than to try and deal with getting something on there that can come off and all of that stuff.
Right.
And dealing with the application.
Yeah, Pasha and Popovi dolls can wear makeup. They just came out with makeup palettes for the Harmonia Bloom dolls from Good Smile, Harmonia Bloom.
Right. And I get to just do that. Okay. So we also, I probably have this in not a great order.
I'm waiting for my bevy of messages from Kat about this one now.
Yeah, so here we have what we're pretty sure is a regular Smart Doll head and a Smart Doll Plus. And it's a Smart Doll Plus Fortitude.
You're gonna get a bedroom ready for her, Kat, because how are you gonna not have a Smart Doll Plus Fortitude?
Oh my God, I'm
gonna have to get Future. You're gonna have to get Fortitude, and we're gonna have to arrange play dates.
Yeah. This was easy at first to miss, but and then I was like, wait a minute, and you can see the thicker eyebrows, and B the little like hash marks in the eyebrows as well. Totally 40 plus, and that sounds weird.
40 plus.
40 plus. And yeah, looks. I cannot wait. I love that he's making the crew.
So my only thought was about this is okay. We know he's making Future. We've seen her, and he said he was making her. Are these like? Is it going to be time for the store to reopen? And are these new displays for the store?
Yeah, right. I mean, obviously, once he made the G7 sculpt in plus size, this is easy. Well, it's not that easy because they still have to electroplate it and do the masks and stuff. But unless they're just going to hand paint it and be done with it because it's one-offs, or I don't know, Danny, give it to us. We will pay monies.
I have my heart set on a Future Plus. I really do.
Oh man, I wasn't that big on it, but we've got a chair back here for her now.
And it's Future. I mean, she's just so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we need to stop staring at that because we've got another one coming up. Here we've got the summer uniform, Mirai summer uniform. What were we at with that? Was he remaking this, or was he wasn't putting this out into the thing? He was bringing it back for sale, I think.
I think so. But I mean, these are obviously these are new drawings.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're redesigning it or what. I got the I'm going to explode.
Yes. We also have a new, what I can only assume is a Solar Marine uniform.
Right. So we had a little back and forth about this last time we did the news, talking about this uniform. And we
were looking at the drawings of it.
I think we were both right in terms of what's going on. You can see some of those lines that he put in place are for the cording.
Yep.
And there's going to be...
Is it actual cording here, or are these just lines? I thought we talked about it was like here, like it's this. It's a little pleat, little mini pleats.
I don't know. I think that's cording going in place.
Okay, so he's just laying down cording as a design element.
I think so.
Okay.
Because you can do a lot of stuff in between that cording.
Sure.
But, could be wrong.
Yeah, I guess I don't know why he would use...
For Danny.
I don't know why he would use the cording to mark where he was going to put pleats.
Right. They're playing with the idea of the cording and where it's going to go.
And we've got this color-blocked section, and here's a tag. Now, okay, so maybe this isn't... oh, yeah, okay. So, just to be clear... This is not, at least if you believe everything that's pinned to this is not a Solar Marine uniform.
Does that have to do with Naruto?
Nope, that's Transformers.
Transformers! Okay.
Yeah.
And we've seen there's a sketch of it.
Yep.
That's kind of a white and purplish blue-gray and...
So Wolf caught it about as I did. Is that an Autobot patch on the arm? Yes. Yes, it is. And so, very interesting, if we're actually getting licensed things, or if he's just having fun and putting a thing on there just to mess with us. Nefertiti says, doesn't look like that's a dart, but actually removing length.
Right, they're pinching it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lee says, roll out. Yeah, so, all right, we've got, we're not really sure. It could be then he has taken his Solar Marine outfit, the pattern for that, and is adapting it to have a Transformers Autobot theme, which is pretty cool. Is Danny doing Smart Doll cosplay?
Well, I mean, last year at Halloween time we got the Squid Game girl.
Good call. Good call. So this could be his Halloween project. Very cool. I'm glad we noticed that. I believe this is more of the same though, and
Yeah,
this is where we could see he's doing something with this weird sort of crimping or something weird there.
That's looks like it's gonna get pleated.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think there's pleats happening somewhere, but this is, yeah, very cool.
The cute top, so cute.
Here we got to see the drawing of it, as well as like this is just great.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I want to add. I would put a layer underneath it though. I want a little tiny bit of like lace or something peeking
Just a little
out from
little
under
white peeking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder where. I would see this as wanting like a very a white shirt that's very close, like very tailored on the arm.
Mm-hmm.
So like a normal sleeve with maybe a little bit of
You could
lace on
totally
the end.
use some of the post-apocalyptic sweater type stuff underneath this, and it would look really cute.
I guess what I'm saying is like you've got this really big bell sleeve.
And you want something fitted, but then comes down to a little cuff with a little bit of lace or a ruffle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that would look very cool. Yeah. Okay, now here we have Danny teasing new licenses.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute.
It looks like he is parking, or I don't know exactly what that sign is. It's kind of weird orientation, but it looks like it's on the side of a building maybe. But he is at the Tablier group. I'm guessing, I know how to make it bad American, but I don't know how to make it like a French looking name sound like bad Japanese.
Right.
But Tablier Group, you can see communications, marketing. They are. It's hard to tell. We can actually look it up real quick. They have a chunk of properties, Tobler, but it's not much. And you can see here. They don't do too much themselves, and I don't know what that means. I don't know, like, them being publicity for a particular anime, does that mean that they actually help with, like, rights, like, licensing and stuff?
Right.
Or would they be more likely only to be on the production side of things? So this Edotama, I believe is the newest of the bunch anyway. No, that's from 2015.
No, I think my first girlfriend is a gal or whatever. I think is the newest one.
Right. But that's publicity assistance. And that is 2017.
Okay. Is Hanasaku Iroha the newer one then? I know they just had a movie come out.
Well, no, this is actually again, I think this has to do with the publicity, the marketing side of things. Etotama Nyankaku Banrai is an ONA. It's basically a web anime.
Okay.
And they say original creator here. And that is 2021, so that's later. The thing that we found very interesting is Hanasaka Iroha.
We just finished watching all that was available on Crunchyroll, and it is so good.
So very good. And like so good that like I started looking into like the fact that the town that it's sort of based on created a festival based on the festival here, and like tons of people go to it every year now. Like,
and it was all because of the manga, the anime, and it was just like it wasn't a festival beforehand. They made a whole festival.
Which is great. I mean, it helped like revitalize a whole town and everything. But
and if you look at some of the characters, one of them actually looks very much like North.
That doesn't zoom in very much. Yeah, it's hard to say if he is looking at one of these as any sort of licensing deals, if that's what this sort of meeting, I mean, what it implies to me, but I have no idea what he would pull out of here.
Yeah.
And what they would even have access to license-wise. The best guess I have would be Etotama.
I mean, there's also a bunch of girls in Hanasako Iroha, but it's not really. It's slice of life, you know.
Right. I mean, this is a little more up Danny's alley. I don't know in terms of, it does say there's significant objectionable content, but in terms of like styling and stuff like that. This is Release the Spice. Again, I feel like my gut would say publicity assistance and publicity cooperation, it would not necessarily put them in the position of owning the rights or managing the rights.
Yeah, we don't know. We really, really don't know, but could be nothing. He could just be walking by.
Yeah, right. He could literally be like, oh, hey, I was here. Yeah. So, very interesting. We'll keep our eye out on that, but man, if they are doing it, I would love to just see, these are so, like, Hanasaku Iroha is like, it's all very like traditional costumes anyway. So they have
school uniforms, occasionally some casual wear, but for the most part, they're in kimono and stuff.
I would love to see this wig.
Oh, right. That wig would be awesome with the little flowers in it.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, these are.
Yeah, I mean, like, this group of girls, they're all very different and they're all very doable as smart dolls, which is kind of cool.
But, so you have our interest piqued, Danny. Yeah. Here we go. I think this might be the last one. I did not. I am unprepared on this one. Is this? Who is this? We've got the big lower lashes. You've got a really low eyebrow. Nefertiti says it's Mirai. I hope they're talking about something. I hope you're not talking about this. I don't know.
Is that what was her name?
It's like Hella? Or something like that. Nefertiti says the katakana says Mirai. I mean, it's and also says Mirai in the upper right-hand corner. That's just
probably Mirai store.
Yeah, it's just Mirai Inc. or whatever. That's the company name. Isn't it the
May?
option head May? Yeah, that's a good call. Thank you for reminding us. May was the third Smart Doll May. No, it's not going to come up with anything. We'd have to find
the store
the
and
thing.
Open up the option heads.
But that was with we had the option of we had the option head comes out and the 3 superhero supposedly, and
He
we had
said
Wonder, we had Power, and then May. So
and he said, "I'll let you wonder who is who,"
yeah,
or something like that.
is it Wonder? I thought Wonder came out.
She did. They both did.
Wonder and Power, or did May?
No, May was out too. That's May. No, that's Wonder.
No, yeah, it's Wonder. I'm not sure why we're necessarily seeing seeing
maybe a change made to her that's actually going to be real.
Yeah, or maybe it's just, more is coming perhaps, but this seems like, like we're seeing the instructions. This looks like more like the in development stuff. Unless we're seeing the actual like next iteration, although it's very similar, but the next iteration of Wonder Woman.
Right. That's what I was saying. I'm like, maybe there's a change being made to her because the other might not, oh, maybe it's just Wonder and Cinnamon. Oh, that's a possibility too.
I don't think, but I think that has. I think you're technically right, but I believe Danny does all his face-ups in Cinnamon for the contrast.
Right.
So for these instructions, yes, it is Cinnamon, but that doesn't mean anything about releasing under Cinnamon or anything like that. It's just, visually you need to show contrast, and that is nothing from Danny, so we're good. All right, and last, I swear, I'm having a lot of trouble these days. Instagram is being a pain in the butt about snacking pictures. So this is like one of the few that I was actually able to get. And Danny put this in his stories, looking for, or not looking for anything, but showing off human-sized versions of Genesis glasses.
That's pretty cool.
I probably wouldn't wear them. They're not quite my style, but they're pretty cool.
They'd be fun to have. Just not really.
Do you really want a twin?
I think they look really good on a very young face, too. Like, on a young, rounder face. Because when you put those are basically like stylized old lady glasses.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I see what you mean, because it's got so much of the glass is not framed, but I don't. I mean, it's very, the lines on it are very. I wouldn't necessarily say modern. It's hard to know what modern is these days, but it's very technical or technology looking. It's got interesting angles and things. I mean, even like my glasses have that of like, it's like, okay, we're not doing a round corner here. We're actually like, we're actually going to cut straight across that corner. Or
maybe you could get them to fit Smart Doll Plus.
Yeah.
Kid size.
Yes.
Kelly just said the same thing. Like mine's. Yeah, they'd be a little too. I mean, Smart Doll Plus head isn't that big, but if you could get kid size version of them,
it's like this big.
Yeah, little kids ones might work.
Yeah. And that brings us to the Smarty Party. We were gone last week. I still can only do one photo per person, but I did combine. So if you put a picture in both weeks, you'll see your latest picture that you submitted. And if you only put your pictures in the first week, then those ones will be there. We will see you in a minute.
We came to party all night long. Let's sing along to every song. We don't need nobody's attention, don't need nobody else. Ain't attention. Yeah, we just wanna dance on our own. We came to party all night long and sing along to every song. We don't need nobody's attention, don't need nobody else in our
All right. Thank you so much,
Some
Baggins
beautiful-
Lover, and all of the people who submitted.
Yeah, there's some beautiful shots in there. I liked the one of the two girls looking up at the clouds, and the kimono shot was stunning.
Yep. If you want to join our Discord, you can find a link in the description to this video, along with other useful links. And yeah, we are on to our Q&A section. Let's see, how much time do we have? Not too much. We ended up having a lot more to talk about than I
Yeah,
thought.
than we thought, yeah.
But that's what happens when you skip a week, I suppose. Yeah, we will take, I don't know, let's say 5 questions.
Okay, we're putting a limit on it tonight? All right, let's
Well,
go.
it's already 8. We've
What
been
do you got,
guys? Kate asks, can we see the cowboy hat?
It's on Shiki over there.
Oh, it's on Shiki.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will find it.
You will be doing the getting up. I actually did something to my back yesterday and tweaked it, and I would probably scream in pain if I stood up right now.
Do we have anyone in the Solar Marine uniform or no?
We have Kara in the red. We liked it with the white, but so picked this baby up at Walmart for $5 in the toys. I mean, not in the toys, in the pet section. It fits absolutely perfectly. Yeah, we got that, and I also got a. Want to show the pirate hat too?
Oh, yeah, the other. So this is all just pet.
Yeah, it's all pet stuff.
So you got a little tricorn. These are not bad. I mean, they're fabric-y. They're not... Well, that one's actually a little bit stiffer.
These came in multiple sizes, and I didn't have a doll with me, but I was able to very clearly look at it and go, that's gonna fit a smart doll head. It was pretty obvious to me what size I needed.
Question from Manuela Medeiros. Sorry I was late to the party today, but do you think Danny will pay tribute to the Queen in some way? Just curious.
We have not.
I haven't seen anything specifically.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know if we've ever seen him express his feelings about the Queen. I mean, just because he's British, a lot of British people, are not in favor of the monarchy. So it's just like.
Yeah, I have no idea where he stands or anything. I didn't see anything specifically, but yeah.
I don't know. I mean, she was, the monarchy is what it is, but I mean, she was a historical figure before she even passed. The woman has lived through so much,
yeah,
and saw so much change and stuff, and yeah. But I don't know. I don't know what Danny's feelings are on that.
Meg Dugan says or asks, what's your favorite doll item right now?
What is the favorite doll item right now.
Aside from the cowboy hat.
Well, that was just a good find for $5, and
Yeah.
it still needs changes. Like, we want to put the Solar Marine logo here instead of this crappy cheap star.
Yeah, need to digitize the Solar Marine logo that I made at a smaller scale so we can do it ourselves.
The yellow boots that go with Batgirl.
Yes, just give me the boots.
Trying to think. We got some cute items from Volks, but that's a video coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, smart dolls themselves.
Boobs.
The way Future looks in the Clotho outfit, because I put it on her, and she looks amazeballs in it.
She does look amazing.
I didn't have her at the time that we did. You
can sort of see her back there.
Yeah, she's hanging out with Salem and Kanashimi.
When this is from Kanal. When do you think the next blue stuff is coming? The last one at 4 a.m. for me, and missed it entirely, and I really want to get Relentless.
That's too bad, because I knew you were waiting for Relentless too. I remember that.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that you had gotten her. I don't know. I mean, I know he said there was going to be another Anomaly drop.
Yeah. I would drop him a line in the comment on his next post on Instagram or something like that. And drop him a line to see, like that, to tell him that you're waiting, you're still looking to get Relentless. Because with that type of stuff, he's always kind of trying to keep track of the popularity and demand to figure out, like, does he need to do another batch of Relentless, or is it back to Anomaly? But good chance it's going to be Anomaly next, and it could be the last.
I know. Well, no, I do. I think Lee said that she talked to him, and I think we are getting anime Relentless in blue.
Oh, okay.
So you might be able to get the anime version if you can't get the semi-real, and if what you really wanted is the semi-real, you might find somebody who wants to swap heads with you. So you never know.
Now, for some reason, all I can think of is those weird, like, bird things from Labyrinth that take off their heads. And now I have that song stuck in my head. Yeah. And, okay, any tips for removing some of the kintsugi? Ooh. And keeping the ends looking like how Danny has them. It's just too big on the face for my Monster High custom Abby Abominable.
That's... I don't know. I would say send it to somebody with a delicate hand myself. I don't think it would be...
I mean, I would throw it out there in, like, I would make a post in, like, the creative projects section of the Discord. Maybe tag a message to So.Spice, to Katie Moore, and see what you can find as far as, other, more experienced face-up artists. But
yeah, because the paint, it works differently than using pencils.
Right. And the type of paint, the metallic paint, might be an issue too. But yeah, I don't know. I'd be a little afraid.
I would honestly try to hunt down a head and, get it, like, completely redone. Kelly, you want this part to stay, the cheek to stay, but you want to get rid of this. If you're committed to doing it, I would get some ideas on, like, what to use to remove, but I just start slowly from the top and see what you have to do to, like, get a clean chunk off or something. Yeah, I'd be scared to do it myself.
But the plan is to do it. That's the thing.
Right.
Like, the biggest concern is dealing with the other facial elements, and how to. So maybe you need to tape them or something, and cover up, like, the eyes. And we'll do last question from Kay again. Can you recommend any places to get eyes? We need to do a video on eyes. I'm not happy about the current state of third-party smart doll eyes. So here's the basic gist. I used to get eyes that I liked a lot from something delightfully custom or
I can't remember,
something like that. They went out of beautifully custom. They went out of business. They went out of business and they and so I think they were going to sell like the eyes and stuff and the right to produce them and all that stuff to somebody else, but I'm guessing nobody took them up on it. So the place we're at now, unfortunately, is almost every place that I find for eyes are using those flat chips and are follow me eyes. And for photography, I kind of hate follow me eyes. Unless, I mean, this is not to be, unless you're lazy in that, like, you don't care, you don't want to deal with positioning of eyes, and you always want them looking at the camera, then follow me eyes are kind of cool. But I have a hard time getting those, they're like big round discs, like flat discs, to sit correctly. And they sit with this depth back there, so you can see the emptiness, like you could see around the corners of the lid of the eye, and I hate it. I much prefer more of an actual resin eye, something more like what Danny produces. So I would, it's what I look for in an eye is a fuller, like actual, like half dome, like a resin eye or something like that. And I look for that big dome, like I look for something that the size of a 21 millimeter eye would normally be, with the full pupil, with like the half size iris. So that they still, even with smaller irises, fill up that space. So it's a pain in the butt. I got to do a bunch more research and see what I can find, but I tend to look more at the resin eyes. Kanal asks, says, I'm still kind of confused about drop times, because the drops before blues were always times where I would be awake.
There's no set time.
And I think he does that to kind of be somewhat fair.
I mean, we've had times where we've woken up at 3-4 in the morning and placed orders. It just... Yeah,
when we first started this, all the drops were like 3 a.m. for us.
Yeah, and we had we had notifications going off to wake us up to tell us that there was going to be a drop, because we were that hardcore.
So he was doing drops at the end of his day. Now, I think, especially because of the heavier United States contingency in terms of his customer base, he's doing drops at the beginning of his day more frequently, but not always. So it's usually either like 8 p.m. for us or 3 a.m. So beginning of his day or end of his day. So there's no controlling it, unfortunately.
There's been a lot of comments on my hair. Thank you very much, everyone. The color is a little different because I actually showed the picture of my avatar to my little chibi avatar that So Spice did to my hairdresser, and she colored it based on that. So it's got So
it's life imitating art, imitating life.
Right. I said, Katie, what are we doing next?
All right. That's going to be it for us. Thank you all for joining us live. If you are watching this on the replay, you should totally totally join us every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're here. We have a great time. We'd love to have you.
That's all for us. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.